Imagine for a moment a land where the whispers of ancient myths, they kind of still echo through every sun-drenched temple, where islands shimmer like jewels in seas of just impossibly clear turquoise, and where every single meal is a vibrant celebration of fresh, honest flavors. That, you might say, is Greece. It's often hailed as the cradle of Western civilization, right? A dream destination for millions across the globe, and without a doubt, one of Europe's most beautiful countries. But what's the real experience like? In this timeless place, is it all just like crowded ruins and incredibly expensive island getaways? Or is there a way for you to truly navigate its rich history and endless beauty without missing a beat? Maybe even, on a tighter budget. This is where it gets really interesting. We're about to decode it all. Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take your sources, we extract the most important nuggets, and give you that shortcut to being truly well informed. Today, we're embarking on, well, an epic journey through Greece, revealing not just its undeniable allure, but every critical detail you need for a truly memorable and efficiently planned Mediterranean adventure. For this deep dive, we've poured over a stack of incredible sources, including Decoding Greece, Ancient Grandeur and Island Life, and the Greece Travel Guide, updated 2025, both packed with insights from extensive, on-the-ground travel experience.
Yeah, and our mission in this deep dive is really to empower you, our listener, to conquer Greece's incredibly diverse landscapes and its iconic experiences. We'll meticulously break down the true costs for different travel styles, unravel the, let's face it, sometimes complex logistics of getting around its vast mainland and countless islands, and we'll share crucial insider tips. Tips designed to help you make the absolute most of your trip, even if you're working with a tighter budget. What's truly fascinating here, and perhaps surprising to many, is how Greece manages to be both a premier European destination and, well, in many aspects, one of the more affordable countries within the Eurozone.
Right. That's the part that always gets me. How does that work?
Exactly. We'll really dig into why this is the case, and maybe most importantly, how you can leverage that to your significant advantage when you're planning your adventure.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We've all seen the pictures, right? Heard the stories. But what is it about Greece that makes it so uniquely special, so utterly captivating? It's more than just a country. It feels like an entire, living, breathing experience.
It absolutely is.
Mhm.
Greece's core identity is, well, fundamentally intertwined with its role as the birthplace of so many foundational elements of Western civilization. We're talking about democracy, philosophy, theater, the Olympic Games. I mean, the list goes on.
It's huge.
It's huge. And this isn't hyperbole. When you walk among its ancient ruins, stretching from the bustling heart of Athens to the mystical slopes of Delphi, you're experiencing tangible links to a past that quite literally shaped the world as we know it.
Yeah.
Our sources describe walking among these sites, like the majestic Acropolis, as a truly humbling experience.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it is an almost visceral connection to the very origins of Western thought. It's like you're stepping into a living textbook where the air itself seems to hum with centuries of human ingenuity and drama. It's not just seeing old stones, it's feeling the weight of history.
That's a powerful thought. And it's not just the historical facts, right? There's that mystical quality, too, with all the mythology woven into the very fabric of the landscape. How does that play out for the traveler?
Precisely. The land itself is deeply steeped in ancient Greek mythology. Everywhere you turn, it seems, every temple, every mountain, every single island comes with a story. A legend of gods, goddesses, heroes. This rich tapestry of legends transforms exploration into an imaginative and endlessly fascinating journey. For instance, one of our sources highlights Crete, which wasn't just home to classical Greek civilization, but to the even older Minoan civilization, a sophisticated Bronze Age society that predated the Greeks.
Wow, predated them.
Yeah. The ruins of Knossos, their ancient capital, are considered the oldest city in Europe. It adds layers upon layers to its historical significance stretching back millennia. So you're not just learning facts, you're immersing yourself in these epic narratives.
And then, of course, there are the islands. They truly are the postcard-perfect image of Greece, offering, well, an unparalleled island-hopping paradise. What makes them so universally appealing?
I think the sheer scale and diversity are just astonishing. With over 2,000 islands scattered across the Aegean and Ionian seas, the variety is immense. Each island truly possesses its own unique character, offering something different. You have the iconic Cyclades, right?
Yeah.
Immediately recognizable for their dazzling whitewashed villages like Santorini and Mykonos.
Oh, yeah, the classic blue and white.
Exactly, those picture-perfect white sand and blue-roofed houses and quaint windmills. Then you transition, and you find the Ionian Islands characterized by lush greenery, vibrant landscapes like Corfu, Zakynthos.
Yep.
And in the Dodecades, islands like Rhodes offer this rich tapestry of history, particularly its magnificent medieval old town. But what truly makes them irresistible, universally speaking, is that they crystal clear turquoise waters are simply irresistible.
Mm.
This natural beauty alone makes Greece an absolute magnet for beach lovers and anyone seeking just, unparalleled serenity and stunning vistas. You could spend a lifetime exploring them and still discover new hidden coves and charming villages.
But Greece isn't just about ancient stones and those mesmerizing blue seas, is it? There's a modern, vibrant pulse, a living culture that's just as captivating and, I hear, incredibly welcoming.
You're absolutely right. Beyond the ancient past and the stunning landscapes, Greece boasts this vibrant modern culture defined by a remarkable concept called philoxenia.
Glycemia.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And it isn't just basic hospitality. It's a deep-seated tradition, a profound warm-heartedness extended to strangers. Travelers consistently encounter warmth, generosity, and genuine kindness, especially once you venture a little beyond the most heavily touristed areas. For example, our sources share accounts of travelers in smaller villages being invited for coffee by shopkeepers they've just met.
Really?
Oh yeah, or a taverna owner insisting on an extra dish on the house, just because you enjoyed your meal. It's a personal, often unexpected connection that goes way beyond a transactional interaction. This spirit is beautifully complemented by the delicious Mediterranean cuisine, lively music, and a relaxed, sun-drenched pace of life.
Ah, the siga siga.
Exactly. The concept of siga siga, which literally means slowly, slowly, is central to the Mediterranean charm. It encourages long, leisurely meals, unhurried conversations, and a non-rushed experience that truly allows you to unwind and savor the moment. Family, as you might imagine, is central to Greek life. Social gatherings, shared meals, they define community bonds. You'll truly feel this connection in local tavernas and village squares where life unfolds at a rhythm dictated by conversation and shared enjoyment, rather than, the relentless ticking of a clock. It's a profound cultural immersion.
So when you put all this together, the history, the islands, the culture, the food, what does this diversity mean for someone planning a trip? It seems like Greece can truly appeal to every type of traveler, whether you're a history buff, a beach bum, or an adventurer.
That's spot on. The incredible diversity of landscapes and experiences means Greece truly caters to all types of travelers. From the rugged mountains on the mainland, like the legendary Mount Olympus towering towards the heavens, to serene olive groves that stretch as far as the eye can see, dramatic coastlines, and bustling modern cities, there's literally something for everyone. Our sources specifically note that while the islands rightfully capture a lot of attention, the interior of the country, with its charming small towns, less visited historic ruins, and opportunities for mountain hikes, is too often overlooked and underappreciated.
Interesting. So go beyond the coast.
Definitely. And this is a key insight. While the islands offer that iconic party scene or pristine beaches, the mainland promises a chance to tap into a Greece that feels centuries removed from the tourist trail. It offers a profound quietude and a raw authenticity that's increasingly rare. The Greece Travel Guide promises that if you make the effort to explore these mainland gems, you won't regret it. It offers a different, perhaps more rugged and contemplative, but equally rewarding side of Greece that many visitors unfortunately miss.
Okay, now that we've really got a feel for why Greece is so special, let's dive into the what. What can you actually do there to tap into all this richness? To truly experience everything we've been talking about, from the ancient to the adventurous.
Right. Often for many, your Greek journey naturally begins in Athens, and it truly is a captivating blend of ancient marvels and dynamic modern energy. The absolute must-see here is the Acropolis, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a magnificent hilltop complex dating back to the 5th century BCE.
Iconic.
Totally iconic. When you're there, you'll explore structures like the majestic Parthenon, the elegant Erechtheion, the Grand Propylaea, all quintessential symbols of ancient Greece. A crucial tip for visitors: go early, like really early in the morning, to beat both the intense Mediterranean heat and the inevitable crowds.
Good tip.
Yeah, admission typically costs around 20 euros. But for a bit more, generally around 30 euros, you can get a 5-day combined ticket. That includes entry to many other significant archaeological sites across Athens, which is excellent value if you plan to explore widely. For a truly immersive experience and to potentially save time in lines, guided tours like those from Athens walking tours for about €55 can provide skip-the-line access and really in-depth historical insights that bring these ancient stones vividly to life.
And the views must be incredible too.
Oh, the views. From the Acropolis, you're treated to expansive views of the city's skyline and surrounding ruins. It connects you directly to the city's profound and enduring history.
And right there, nestled around the Acropolis, there's so much more to explore, isn't there? It feels like the history just spills out into the streets below.
It absolutely does. The Acropolis Museum, world-class institution, is right nearby and showcases artifacts found on the Acropolis itself. It provides vital context for what you've just seen. And at the foot of the Acropolis, you can wander through Plaka and Anaphiotica. These are charming, historic neighborhoods with winding streets, perfect for soaking in the local atmosphere, grabbing a coffee, or finding unique souvenirs. The ancient Agora, which was the vibrant heart of ancient Athenian public life, a marketplace, a meeting place, a center for philosophy and democracy that's another significant site to explore. You could almost hear the echoes of ancient debates.
Wow.
Beyond the ruins, Athens offers vibrant modern culture too. For example, the Athens Epidaurus Festival runs from May to October. It hosts concerts, theater, even reenactments of ancient Greek plays in historic venues. Tickets can be surprisingly affordable, sometimes as low as €5.
€5, that's amazing.
I know. It's a unique celebration of performing arts and a clear showcase of Greek pride in their past.
Okay, moving on. For so many people, the dream of Greece involves island hopping. And with good reason, it's really the quintessential image of a Mediterranean getaway. What's the experience like for someone who wants to dive into that?
Indeed, it's easily the most popular way to experience the islands, and the variety of experiences is truly incredible. In the Cyclades, you have the well-known highlights like Santorini, famous for its breathtaking sunsets and dramatic caldera views. Be warned, though, due to its immense popularity, accommodation here can be significantly pricier. So booking well in advance is absolutely crucial.
Right, the Santorini effect.
Totally. Our sources suggest looking at options like Caveland or Bedspot Hostel for budget-conscious travelers, or maybe Astrolthothos Hotel for those seeking a bit more comfort. Then there's Mykonos, synonymous with vibrant nightlife and its iconic windmills. Studio Eleni is a recommended stay there. But if you're looking for a more traditional, perhaps less crowded island experience than the main party hubs, check out Paros or Naxos. Beautiful beaches, a more relaxed, authentic vibe generally. Ilios, while it has a reputation for its wildest nightlife during peak summer June to August, surprisingly reveals itself as a beautiful, rugged island with quieter eastern parts. And remarkably, the grave of Homer is apparently there if you visit during the shoulder season.
Homer's grave. Seriously.
Seriously. Francesco's and Far Out Beach Club are popular choices for stays on Ios, so it has layers.
And then there's Crete, the largest island, which truly sounds like a whole destination in itself, almost like a mini country.
It absolutely is. Crete isn't just Greece's largest island. It's a deeply historic destination. Particularly noteworthy for being home to the ancient Minoan civilization, with incredible ruins like Knossos, which, as we mentioned, predate classical Greek civilization by thousands of years.
It still blows my mind.
Right. This expansive island offers truly diverse landscapes. From beautiful beaches, including a unique pink sand beach that's a marvel to see, to plentiful hiking opportunities, charming, quaint towns, and of course, delicious food and wine that is distinctly Cretan. It's also surprisingly affordable for its size and offerings, and large enough that you can still find pockets to escape the summer crowds, even during peak season.
Good to know. Any specific recommendations there?
Yeah, for accommodation, our sources point to Rhythmno Youth Hostel and Intramuros. For outdoor enthusiasts, the Samaria Gorge, one of Greece's national parks and a UNESCO World Biosphere Reserve, is renowned as one of the best hikes. It's a challenging 16-kilometer, about 10-mile trek. Typically takes between 5 to 7 hours, culminating at the beautiful Agia Rumeli Beach. Just remember to pack plenty of water, sunscreen, and a hat. The sun is strong.
Definitely.
And for history buffs, the Archaeological Museum of Heraklion is Crite's #1 attraction and Greece's second-largest archaeological museum after Athens. It chronicles 5,500 years of history and boasts the most extensive Minoan collection in the world. Admission is around €12 in summer, €6 in winter.
Okay, Crete sounds amazing. Beyond those popular Cycladic islands in Crete, what about some of the other diverse islands, the ones offering different, perhaps less explored experiences?
Sure. Moving across the map, Rhodes, for example, features a magnificent medieval old town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is fascinating to explore, alongside beautiful beaches. Corfu, located on Greece's west coast in the Ionian Sea, is popular for its beaches and often attracts young backpackers. But if you venture out, you can discover quiet beaches, ancient ruins, and charming villages away from the main towns. Highlights there include the opulent Aegean Palace, the picturesque Nymphes Village, historic Corfu town itself, and the impressive Angela Castro Castle. The Pink Palace is a well-known suggested stay there.
The Pink Palace, right. Heard of that one.
Yeah, it's famous. Just south of Kefalonia in the Ionian Sea, Zakynthos is renowned for its soft, sandy beaches and charming villages. It's also a critical breeding area for loggerhead turtles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which you can responsibly view at Lagana Beach or on Turtle Island. Other key sites include the stunning Blue Caves, Marathonesi Islet, and the famously dramatic Shipwreck Beach. Be aware, though, you need a boat tour to access that one. Each offers a distinct flavor of Greek island life.
It's easy to get caught up in island dreams, and who can blame us? But the mainland truly offers equally awe-inspiring experiences, often with the added benefit of fewer crowds and a different kind of immersion. What should we know about those hidden or perhaps just less publicized mainland gems?
You are absolutely right. The mainland is packed with wonders that offer a profoundly different experience. Meteora, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to incredible monasteries perched precariously atop towering natural rock pillars.
The pictures look insane.
They really do. It's an awe-inspiring spiritual and natural wonder. With these monastic communities dating back to the 9th and 10th centuries, 6 active monasteries remain today, each typically with an entrance fee of around €3. It does require a steep trek up to reach them, but the panoramic views and the profound sense of history and spirituality are absolutely worth every single step. Then there's Delphi, another UNESCO site, the ancient sanctuary and oracle nestled beautifully on the slopes of Mount Parnassus. It was a place of immense spiritual significance in the ancient world, where the oracle was believed to communicate with Apollo.
The Oracle of Delphi.
Exactly, offering divine advice. Admission is generally around €12 and includes both the museum and the extensive archaeological site. Day trips from Athens are readily available, starting around €48. And of course, you also have Olympia, yet another UNESCO site, where you can visit the very grounds of the ancient Olympic Games, a powerful connection to the origins of athletic competition.
And the Peloponnese region. That sounds like an absolute gold mine for history buffs looking for something a bit off the main tourist trail.
It truly is.
Yeah.
The Peloponnese is incredibly rich in history and offers diverse sites that often fly under the radar compared to the islands. For instance, Sparta.
Sparta?
Yeah, the ancient rival of Athens, famed for its fierce warriors. It offers fascinating ruins and museums like the Archaeological Museum and the Museum of the Olive and Olive Oil, which delves into the profound cultural and economic significance of olives in Greece, a history stretching back tens of thousands of years. It's only about a 2.5-hour drive southwest of Athens, making it a great place to explore history without the overwhelming crowds you might find in Athens. Castle View camping and bungalows and Laconia Hotel are suggested accommodations there.
Nice. What else in the Peloponnese?
Another spectacular site is Monemvasia, a breathtaking medieval castle town built right into the side of a huge rock on the coast. Founded by Byzantines in the 6th century, it's a quiet, enchanting place, perfect for relaxing and dining. You'll find well-preserved ruins, a 16th century mosque that now houses the Archaeological Museum, and a lighthouse with incredible sea views. Plus, there are hiking trails leading to secluded chapels, ancient settlements, hidden beaches, offering a true sense of discovery.
Wow, that sounds incredible. So, beyond the ancient sites and well-known islands, what about some of the more rugged or modern mainland experiences? Or perhaps some truly unique, almost otherworldly natural wonders?
Well, you absolutely can't forget Mount Olympus, the legendary home of the Greek gods. Starting from the town of Litakoro at an impressive 2,917 meters, or roughly 9,570 feet, it's Greece's tallest mountain. The hike is described as strenuous but undeniably mystical, offering breathtaking landscapes that vividly illustrate why it was believed to be the dwelling of the gods.
A proper challenge.
Definitely. For a more urban and modern experience, Thessaloniki is Greece's second-largest city, with over 1 million inhabitants. It beautifully blends modern European city planning with a remarkable array of early Christian, Roman, and Byzantine monuments. In fact, it boasts 15 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, more than any other European city. Yeah. Must-sees include the iconic White Tower, the Rotunda, the Arch of Galerius, Galerius Palace, along with numerous historic churches like Hagia Sophia and Hagios Dimitrios. They also have a fantastic array of museums: archaeological, Byzantine culture, Jewish, Olympic.
Okay, Thessaloniki sounds like a must-visit too. That's quite a comprehensive list already. Are there any other hidden gems or truly unique experiences on the mainland or smaller islands that our listeners might not typically find in a standard guidebook?
Definitely. Ioannina, a captivating castle town in northwestern Greece, nestled next to Lake Pamvotida, is bursting with museums, Byzantine, ethnographic, archaeological, silversmithing museums, showcasing the area's renowned jewelry tradition. It serves as an excellent base for exploring the wild beauty of Pindus National Park, the Zumerka Mountains, the stunning cave of Parama, and the historic Byzantine town of Arda.
So much history everywhere.
It really is. For something truly otherworldly, Milisani Cave on Kefalonia Island is a grotto accessible by a short boat tour. Inside, you'll be mesmerized by ultramarine waters and monumental walls. It's described as totally surreal, with water so clear that the boats appear to be floating on glass.
Sounds magical.
It really does. Admission is typically around €7 and includes the boat ride. And for those who happen to be in Greece during the winter, the Patras Carnival is an annual month-and-a-half-long party in Patras, running from January 17th until Lent begins. It's the largest festival of its kind in Greece, featuring countless events, treasure hunts, elaborate costume parades. Just remember to book hotels well in advance if you plan to attend. It gets packed.
Right, good tip. Beyond these incredible historical and natural wonders, Greece offers a myriad of other activities to truly immerse yourself. It's not just about sightseeing, is it? It's about experiencing the culture, the water, the very essence of Greek life.
Exactly. Of course, a significant draw is simply to relax on Greece's countless beautiful beaches. Sometimes, nothing beats soaking up the sun in the incredible views. But to truly engage with the culture, taking a cooking class is described as a legendary way to learn about Greek cuisine and culture firsthand.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah, they typically last between 3 to 4 hours, cost around €70 to €100, and offer you the chance to learn traditional recipes like tzatziki and moussaka directly from locals, a skill you can bring home. For those who love the water, sailing and water sports are an absolute must. You can enjoy the crystal clear waters by sailing, snorkeling, or diving, which is becoming increasingly popular. Diving spots include Paradise Reef on Mykonos for marine life, Ios, which is good for beginners due to its clear waters, and Santorini, which, while having less marine life, boasts intriguing shipwrecks.
Shipwrecks, cool.
Yeah. Shore dives start around €50. Two-tank boat dives are about €70. A beginner discovery course is around €70. And potty certification courses begin from about €65. So, options for all levels.
And for land-based adventure, particularly in the more rugged areas, what about hiking and maybe something a little different?
Hiking is a fantastic option, with well-maintained trails in Crete, like the famous Samaria Gorge, throughout the Peloponnese, or on various islands. As we discussed, Mount Olympus offers a strenuous yet mystical hike for serious adventurers. For culinary enthusiasts, delving into Greece's incredibly rich winemaking tradition, which remarkably dates back 6,500 years, is highly recommended.
6,500 years.
I know, right? Crete alone boasts over 30 wineries, and Santorini's wineries are unique due to their specialized grapevine growth methods designed to protect them from harsh island winds. Wine tours typically start around €50 for a full day, offering tastings and insights into this ancient craft.
And what about seeing the islands from a completely different perspective, maybe from the water itself, besides diving, I mean?
Boat tours are hands down one of the best ways to see the islands, especially to access remote beaches that are otherwise unreachable by land. Half-day tours typically start from €20, and full-day tours from €30, often including snorkeling opportunities, plenty of lounging time, drinks, and even lunch. Great value usually. Finally, do not miss out on an olive oil farm tour. Greek olive oil is consistently considered the best in the world and has been central to the culture and economy for tens of thousands of years.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah, the Museum of the Olive and Olive Oil in Sparta even has 60,000-year-old fossilized olive leaves.
That's incredible.
It is. Tours usually last a couple of hours, start around €30, and typically include a walk through the fragrant olive groves and a tasting session. It's a wonderful sensory way to connect with a cornerstone of Greek life and economy.
Now, let's talk about one of my absolute favorite parts of any trip, the food. And in Greece, it's truly a highlight, something people universally rave about. The sheer freshness is just astounding.
You're absolutely right. Greek cuisine is truly a celebration of fresh, locally sourced ingredients, rich olive oil, and vibrant flavors. It really exemplifies simplicity perfected. The emphasis is always on quality, the inherent freshness of the produce, and bringing out the natural deliciousness of each component. It's a Mediterranean diet taken to its purest, most enjoyable form.
So, for someone just starting their culinary journey in Greece, where do you begin? You really have to hit the street food first for that quick, authentic bite, don't you?
Absolutely. The street food staples are not just incredibly convenient, they're incredibly tasty and affordable. Gyro and souvlaki are arguably the most iconic Greek fast food options. A gyro features seasoned meat, typically tender pork or chicken, shaved from a vertical spit, served generously in warm pita bread with creamy tzatziki, fresh tomatoes, and onions. Mmm,
Sounds good right now.
doesn't it? Souvlaki, on the other hand, consists of succulent grilled meat skewers, often pork or chicken, served either on their own or also wrapped in pita. These are fantastic options for saving money. They cost only a few euros each and can genuinely keep you full for around 15 euros per day if you're on a tight budget. Beyond these, you'll also find spanakopita and tirapita savory pastries filled with spinach and feta cheese, spanakopita, or just cheese, pirapita. Perfect for a quick, flaky snack on the go.
But beyond the quick bites, there are those classic dishes that everyone instantly thinks of when they picture Greece. You know, the comforting, iconic mainstays you find in tavernas.
Indeed, there are many comforting and flavorful mainstays that define Greek home cooking and taverna experiences. The Greek salad, or horiatiki, is a prime example. A colorful mix of fresh tomatoes, crisp cucumbers, thinly sliced red onions, briny olives, and a generous, creamy slab of authentic feta cheese.
The slab of feta is key.
Oh, it's essential. All drizzled with exquisite Greek olive oil and sprinkled with fragrant oregano. It truly is simple perfection. Then there's moussaka, a rich, comforting layered dish with tender eggplant, seasoned minced meat, and topped with a creamy golden bechamel sauce. It's a true classic, a hearty casserole that speaks of home. Tzatziki is another absolute must-try, that refreshing dip made from strained Greek yogurt, cool shredded cucumber, pungent garlic, and fragrant dill. It's perfect with warm pita bread or as a cooling counterpoint to grilled meats.
Love tzatziki.
Me too. And especially when you're on the islands, you absolutely must indulge in the fresh seafood, whether it's perfectly grilled octopus, crispy calamari, or a whole freshly caught fish prepared simply to highlight its natural flavor. The quality and simplicity are just unparalleled.
And of course, there's always room for something sweet to finish the meal and maybe a refreshing drink to complete the experience.
Naturally. For sweets, you have baklava, layers of delicate phyllo pastry generously filled with chopped nuts and sweetened with a rich aromatic syrup. It's incredibly rich and sweet, a true indulgence. Lukumets are another delightful treat. Warm, puffy, honey-drizzled donuts, often sprinkled with cinnamon. A perfect comforting bite.
Donuts.
Right. To drink, traditional Greek coffee is strong and robust, a ritualistic part of the day for many. For alcoholic beverages, ouzo is the famous anise-flavored aperitif, typically served with water which turns it milky white. While Sapporo and Raki are strong grape distillates, kind of like grappa, particularly popular in Crete and other mainland regions, they're usually served straight. Potent stuff.
Good to know.
Yeah. A fantastic money-saving tip here, directly from our sources, is that you can buy a great bottle of wine for around 5 euros at the store, significantly cheaper than buying it by the glass or bottle at a restaurant or bar.
5 euros. That's a great tip.
It really is. For other typical beverage costs, you can expect a beer to be around 3 to 5 euros, a glass of wine 3 to 6 euros, a cappuccino or latte around 3 to 4 euros, and bottled water typically about 2 euros.
So beyond the specific dishes, what does dining out actually feel like in Greece? Is it formal, casual, a mix? How do you really get into the rhythm of it?
Greece offers a really wide range of dining experiences, from the very casual street food stalls we mentioned to cozy tavernas, those traditional, often family-run local restaurants, all the way up to upscale fine dining establishments, especially in major cities or popular islands. The key is to truly embrace a lifestyle. You'll find yourself indulging in long, leisurely meals and shared platters. This is a fundamental part of that siga philosophy we talked about, a deeply social and unhurried approach to food.
I like that. No rushing.
Exactly. Our sources provide a fantastic insider tip for finding affordable dining that I think you'll love. It's called the Greek salad bread rule.
Ooh, okay, tell me more.
Here's how it works. If the bread cover charge is 0.50 euros, or a Greek salad is less than 7 euros, the restaurant is generally considered cheap and very budget-friendly. If the bread cover is around 1 euro and a Greek salad is between 7 and 8.50 euros, prices are average. Anything more than that means the place is on the expensive side.
That's brilliant. Such a simple rule of thumb.
Isn't it? It's a brilliant, quick way to gauge the pricing level of a restaurant just by looking at the menu's first few items. And of course, buying groceries from local supermarkets can save a significant amount of money. A week's worth of food might cost around 35 to 50 euros. You can then enjoy charming and budget-friendly picnics on beaches or by ancient ruins.
All right, we've talked about the sights, the incredible food, but where do you lay your head down at night? What are the accommodation options, and what do they really cost in Greece? This is often where budget planning gets tricky, but you hinted earlier that Greece can offer surprising value.
That's a great question, and it's true. Greece often offers excellent value for budget travelers, particularly when you venture beyond the most famous islands. You can frequently find charming, small, family-run operations and even budget accommodations that surprisingly include perks like swimming pools, which is kind of rare find in many other European countries at that price point.
A pool on a budget. Nice.
Yeah. For budget-friendly options, hostel dorms typically range from about 15 to 20 euros per night, though they can go up to 20 to 40 euros in the absolute peak summer season. You'll find high-quality, modern hostels in major cities and popular islands. If you prefer a bit more privacy, hostel private rooms, basic guest houses, or studios generally cost between 40 to 90 US dollars per night, or roughly 75 to 120 euros for private hostel rooms. Budget hotels are usually in the 40 to 60 euro range, but expect them to be about 50% more expensive during the summer months.
Okay. What about Airbnb?
Airbnb private rooms can be found for around 25 to 45 euros, and entire Airbnb apartments for around 50 euros. So definitely competitive. Our sources provide specific examples of well-regarded budget places like Selina, Athens Hawks Hostel, Bedbox in Athens, Caveland, Bedspot Hostel, Astrolithos Hotel in Santorini, Rhythmno Youth Hostel, Intramuros in Crete, the Pink Palace in Corfu, Francesco's, Far Out Beach Club in Eos, and Castleview Camping or Laconia Hotel in Sparta. So lots of names to check out.
So quite a spectrum, even within the budget category, offering a lot of flexibility. What about mid-range and luxury stays? What can someone expect there?
For the mid-range traveler, you'll discover charming boutique hotels, especially in the islands, and comfortable standard hotels or apartments in cities and towns. Prices for these generally fall between 100 to 250 US dollars per night. This is considered a great sweet spot for comfort and authentic experiences, offering good balance without breaking the bank.
The sweet spot, okay.
Yeah. However, be aware that if you're staying on the more expensive islands like Santorini or Mykonos, or if you plan on indulging frequently in drinks and dining out, you should probably budget closer to 150 to 180 euros per day. Then there's the luxury segment, where Greece truly excels, particularly on islands like Santorini and Mykonos. Here, you'll find truly opulent Caldera View suites with private plunge pools, sprawling beachfront resorts, exclusive villas.
Living the dream.
Pretty much. Prices for these can easily exceed 300 US dollars and soar to over 1,000 plus US dollars per night, especially for iconic properties or prime locations during peak season.
It sounds like location and the time of year are absolutely massive factors in what you'll end up paying for accommodation. It's not just about budget, mid-range, luxury, is it?
They absolutely are the dominant factors. The key elements influencing accommodation price are heavily tied to your chosen location and the season you visit. Santorini and Mykonos, for example, are significantly more expensive than mainland Greece, or less popular islands like Naxos or Paros. Athens offers a wide range in between. Prices are always highest in the peak summer months, July and August, and also around major holidays like Easter. Therefore, advance booking is not just recommended, it's absolutely essential, especially during peak season, for those popular islands and specific, highly desirable properties.
So book early.
Book early. A valuable money-saving tip, if you have them, is to utilize credit card points for accommodations. This can save you a substantial amount of money. Couchsurfing is also highlighted in our sources as a fantastic way to stay for free and truly meet locals, offering a very authentic cultural exchange that extends beyond just saving money.
Once you know where you're staying, the next big question is how to get around this incredibly diverse country, from bustling cities to countless islands. It sounds like a logistical puzzle, but also like there are plenty of options.
There certainly are. For inter-island and mainland travel, ferries are the quintessential and most popular way to island hop. You have a choice between faster ferries, which connect major islands quickly but tend to be more expensive, and slower. Conventional ferries that are more affordable but, well, take longer.
Trade-off between time and money.
Exactly. It's always wise to book ferry tickets in advance, especially during peak season, as they can sell out. Prices average around 35 euros per trip, though they can be as little as 10 euros for very close islands, or around 40 euros from Athens to the popular Cyclades. A clever trick our sources highlight is to consider booking overnight ferries. These can save you up to half off the normal ticket price and crucially save you a night of accommodation cost. Yeah, Booking 2 months in advance can often even net you an additional 25% discount. For those planning extensive island hopping, a Uriel ferry pass offers 4 and 6 trip options, though it's limited to Blue Star and Hellenic Seaways ferries. You'd want to research your specific routes on platforms like Ferry Hopper to see if a pass makes economic sense for your itinerary. Ferry Hopper and GTP.gr are excellent resources for researching routes and prices. Very useful tools.
And for longer distances, or if you're really short on time, are there faster ways to cover ground, like flying between islands?
Yes. Domestic flights, primarily with Aegean Airlines and Sky Express, connect Athens to major islands and cities. They're a quick and often surprisingly affordable option. Sometimes as low as 20 to 35 euros one way from Athens to popular islands like Santorini or Mykonos. Saves significant travel time compared to ferries. For mainland travel, intercity buses, run by KTL, that's Greece's national bus network, are efficient, comfortable, and very affordable. They connect cities and towns across the country. Prices vary by distance. For example, Athens to Sparta is around 20 euros, Athens to Thessaloniki about 42 euros. Tickets are typically booked at the bus station.
What about trains?
Trains. Generally described as unreliable and slow, with few routes. For instance, Athens to Thessaloniki by train takes about 4.5 hours and costs around 20 euros. Given this, buses or renting a car are usually better alternatives for mainland exploration due to their flexibility and efficiency.
Once you're in a city like Athens, what's the best way to navigate? Do you need a car, or is public transport efficient enough?
The Athens metro is modern, efficient, and connects major sites, the airport and the Piraeus port. Rides start at just 1.2 euros, so very cheap. Trams and buses supplement the metro in Athens and other large cities, offering comprehensive coverage. For exploring historic centers like Athens' Plaka or charming island towns, honestly, walking is hands down the best way to immerse yourself. Allows you to discover hidden alleys and local shops.
Right, get lost a little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taxis and ride-hailing apps like Beat or Free Now are readily available in cities. However, it's important to agree on a fare or ensure the meter is running. And crucially, note that taxis are very expensive in Greece, so minimizing their use is strongly advised for budget travelers. In general, public transportation is widely available and affordable in larger cities, with buses being the primary mode in smaller cities and towns.
And once you're on the islands themselves, beyond the ferries that get you there, what are the best ways to explore locally? Renting scooters seems popular.
Oh yeah, ATVs and scooters are incredibly popular for exploring islands. They allow you to move at your own pace and discover secluded spots. Scooters typically cost between 15 to 25 euros per day, while ATVs are around 38 to 50 euros per day. It's crucial, though, to have the correct license and insurance for these, and to exercise extreme caution due to, frankly, aggressive drivers and narrow winding roads that can be challenging.
Yeah, I've heard stories.
Be careful. Local buses also connect major towns and beaches on most islands and are a very affordable option. For larger islands like Crete or Rhodes, rental cars are a fantastic option for in-depth exploration. And they can be super affordable, starting from as little as 20 euros per day for multi-day rentals.
20 euros a day, that's cheap.
It really is. You'll need an international driving permit, though, and drivers must be at least 21 and have had their license for 1 year. Discover Cars is a recommended platform for finding rentals. Boats or water taxis are incredibly useful for reaching remote beaches or for localized island hopping to nearby islets. Finally, hitchhiking is noted as safe and common in many parts of Greece, especially on islands, though it might be harder in the off-season when traffic is less busy. Always consult resources like HitchWiki for up-to-date info.
Okay, lots of options there. And a general tip?
Yeah, the Rome Turio website is great. It helps determine the best and cheapest routes: bus, train, plane, boat. And Flixbus offers cheap European bus routes, sometimes from 5 euros, with Wi-Fi and outlets. Good for getting to Greece, too.
Okay, so we've explored how much there is to see and do and how to get around this incredibly diverse country. But what's the bottom line? How much does a trip to Greece actually cost? This is where, as you hinted, a lot of common assumptions about European travel get challenged.
This is a truly key insight, because Greece generally offers a good balance of value, especially if you strategically avoid the most luxurious options on the most popular islands. It's genuinely considered one of the more affordable countries in the Eurozone.
Which is surprising, right? Given how iconic it is.
It often surprises people. Why is this the case? Well, part of it comes down to a generally lower cost of living and wages compared to Western European counterparts. Plus, robust local production of food and goods keeps prices down. And strong competition within the tourism sector also benefits travelers, at least outside the most exclusive zones. Let's break down the estimated daily costs, excluding your international flights for different travel styles. For a backpacker on a tight budget, you could realistically manage on about 40 to 60 euros. That's roughly 50 to 100 US dollars per day.
40 to 60 euros. Okay.
Yeah. This budget covers staying in hostel dorms, primarily eating cheap street food like gyros, cooking some of your own meals, relying heavily on public transport and slower ferries, and focusing on free activities like hiking and beach relaxation. The caveat here is that it requires strict budgeting on alcohol and organized tours. And you should expect to be on the higher end of that range, maybe 50, 60 euros during peak season. If you plan on drinking regularly, you'll definitely need to add an extra 5 to 15 euros per day to your budget.
Right. And for someone looking for a bit more comfort, say a private room, maybe eating out more often, what's that mid-range look like?
For a mid-range traveler, you'd be looking at roughly 100 to 130 euros, or about 120 to 250 US dollars per day. This allows for a comfortable stay in a mid-range hotel, a private apartment, or a private hostel room or Airbnb. You'll be able to enjoy a mix of traditional tavernas and casual restaurants, take a few island hops, visit some paid archaeological sites or tours, and take the occasional taxi or rent a bike or scooter to get around. This budget truly allows for a great balance of comfort and experiences, letting you enjoy many of Greece's highlights without constant penny pinching.
That sounds like a good target for many people.
It often is. However, expect to spend closer to 150 to 180 euros per day if you're consistently staying on the more expensive islands like Santorini or Mykonos, or if you're frequently enjoying alcoholic beverages with your meals. Those things add up.
And for those who truly want to indulge, splash out a bit. What's the starting point for a luxury Greek adventure?
For the luxury traveler, your daily cost would begin at around 235 euros or 300 US dollars and can easily go upwards of 800 plus US dollars per day or even more. This category covers high-end hotels, fine dining experiences, private transfers, and indulging in all the top experiences like luxury catamaran cruises, exclusive island stays, private diving excursions, the works. It's important to note that 235 euros is often just the ground floor for luxury. You should expect to pay upwards of 50 euros more per day if you're staying on the most sought-after islands, where premium experiences come with premium price tags.
So beyond just choosing your travel style backpacker mid-range luxury, what are the main things that really drive these costs up or down? What are the biggest levers someone can pull to influence their budget?
The primary factors inflating costs are pretty clear. Firstly, your island choice is paramount. Santorini and Mykonos are significantly more expensive than most other destinations in Greece, sometimes even double the cost for similar amenities.
Location, location, location.
Exactly. Secondly, the type of accommodation and its specific location play a huge role. Especially caldera view or beachfront properties, they naturally command premium prices due to their unique appeal. Ferry tickets, while essential for island hopping, can add up quickly if you plan on extensive movement between islands, as each leg contributes to the overall cost. Similarly, specific tours and activities, archaeological site entry fees, curated boat tours, hands-on cooking classes are individual expenses that contribute to your daily spend. Finally, dining out, particularly in tourist hotspots or restaurants with prime views, will generally be more expensive than seeking out local eateries or, as we said, cooking some of your own meals.
Okay, so if you're on a budget, how do you keep costs down without missing out on the magic that Greece offers? This is where those insider tips you mentioned earlier really come in handy, right?
Absolutely. There are many strategic savings you can implement to stretch your budget without sacrificing the experience. As we mentioned earlier, prioritizing street food like gyros, souvlaki, and spanakopita is incredibly effective. They're delicious, authentic, and only cost a few euros. You can easily keep your daily food budget to around 15 euros if you stick to these. And definitely use that Greek salad bread rule we discussed.
Remind me again.
Sure. If the bread cover charge is 0.50 euros or a Greek salad is less than 7 euros, the restaurant is generally cheap. If the cover is around 1 euro and a salad is between 7 and 8.50 euros, prices are average. Anything more means it's on the expensive side. It's a brilliant, quick way to assess dining costs. Another great tip is buying groceries. Supermarkets in Greece are well-stocked and affordable. A week's worth of groceries might only cost you around 35 to 50 euros. This allows you to prepare some meals and enjoy charming picnics on beaches or by ruins, a wonderful experience itself.
Yeah, picnicking sounds lovely there.
It really is. Choosing less popular islands also yields significant savings. Many offer similar beauty to the famous ones, but at prices that can drop by 30% or more off the beaten path. Plus, you often get a more authentic experience. Always use public transport where possible. Intercity buses and slower ferries are far more affordable than taxis or fast ferries. And the Athens Metro, for instance, is just 1.2 zeros per ride.
And what about clever ferry strategies to save even more? You mentioned overnight ones.
Exactly. Booking overnight ferries is a fantastic strategy. They can save you up to half off the normal ticket price and save you a night of accommodation cost, effectively killing two birds with one stone.
Double win.
Totally. Additionally, booking 2 months in advance can often get you up to a 25% discount on many routes. If you're planning a lot of island hopping and your routes align, considering a Eurail pass, which includes Blue Star and Hellenic Seaways ferries, could be cost-effective. Check if it fits your itinerary. Visiting during the shoulder seasons, March to May and September to October, is highly recommended. July and August are the most expensive. These periods mean significantly cheaper prices for flights and accommodation, along with fewer crowds. Couchsurfing is another excellent way to stay with locals for free and gain an incredibly authentic cultural experience. Often leads to friendships and unique insights.
Right, connect with people.
Yeah. When it comes to drinks, buy wine at the store. A great bottle can be around €5, much cheaper than at a bar or restaurant. If you're a student, an ISIC Card International Student Identity Card can grant you valuable discounts on museum and attraction admissions. Also, be aware that most museums have specific free admission days. Check the Odysseus Culture website for details. Historical attractions often offer combined tickets, which are better value than buying individual entries.
Good point. Look for those bundles.
Definitely. Lastly, renting a car can be incredibly cheap on the mainland and larger islands, starting at just €20 per day. Offers great flexibility. Remember, you'll need an international driving permit. Discover Cars is a good resource. And finally, a simple one. Bring a reusable water bottle. Tap water is generally safe in cities and larger islands, though mineral content might affect taste. LifeStraw is a good brand with built-in filters. On some smaller islands, however, bottled water is essential. Saves money and plastic waste.
Okay, the when of your trip can dramatically change your experience in Greece, from the crowds you encounter to the costs you incur, and even the overall vibe of your visit. So, what's the best time to visit Greece? Does depend on what you want to do.
Choosing the best time really depends heavily on your priorities, as each season offers a distinct charm and, frankly, a distinct set of trade-offs. Summer, which runs from July to August, is undeniably the most popular time to visit. You can expect consistently hot temperatures, typically ranging from the high 20s to mid-30s Celsius, that's high 80s to mid-90s Fahrenheit, sometimes even higher. You get long daylight hours and an undeniably vibrant island life. It's truly perfect for beach holidays and island hopping if you want that classic Mediterranean sun experience.
But the downsides?
Exactly. This is also peak season, which translates to the highest prices for accommodation of flights, the largest crowds at popular sites, and the most intense heat, especially in Athens, which makes sightseeing pretty strenuous. If you choose this period, just be prepared for bustling energy absolutely everywhere.
So if you want to avoid some of those peak season challenges, especially the heat and the crowds, when should you consider going? It sounds like there's an ideal sweet spot we keep coming back to.
There absolutely is a sweet spot, and that's the shoulder seasons. April to June in the spring and September to October in the autumn. These are often considered the best times to visit for a balance of excellent weather, significantly fewer crowds, and better prices across the board. In spring, specifically April to June, you'll experience wonderfully mild temperatures, usually between the high teens and high 20s Celsius or mid-60s to high 70s Fahrenheit. This is when the landscapes are at their most vibrant, with wildflowers blooming everywhere. The sea is warming up nicely, but there are far fewer crowds than in peak summer. It's ideal for sightseeing and light hiking.
Sounds lovely. And autumn.
Autumn, from September to October, is also fantastic. It's still perfectly warm enough for swimming, with very pleasant temperatures, and the crowds begin to thin out significantly after the summer rush. The sea is also at its warmest during this period, having been heated all summer, making it excellent for island hopping and mainland exploration. A notable benefit of the shoulder seasons is that it's often easier to meet locals and engage in more authentic experiences, though you might encounter a bit more rain, especially later in autumn, so packing a light jacket or umbrella is wise.
And what about visiting during winter, November to March? Is that even an option, or do things really shut down, especially on the islands?
Winter, spanning from November to March, is characterized by cooler temperatures, typically around 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, 50 to 59 F, shorter daylight hours, and some rain. During this period, many island businesses will close down entirely, especially on the smaller islands, as the tourist season ends. However, Athens and mainland historical sites are far less crowded, and prices for accommodation and flights are at their lowest. making it a budget-friendly option if you're focused solely on history and museums. Some mountain areas might even see snow, offering a different kind of beauty.
So, probably not ideal for a first trip.
Our sources strongly recommend that you skip a winter visit unless you're only planning to visit museums and major cities, because many islands almost shut down entirely, meaning fewer ferries, very limited dining options, and a much quieter, sometimes even desolate atmosphere, not the vibrant Greece most people picture.
Okay, that makes sense. So, what does this all mean for you, our listener, in terms of optimizing your visit, choosing the perfect time for your Greek adventure?
To optimize your visit, if your primary goal is beaches and island hopping, definitely aim for the shoulder seasons, May, June, or September, October. This provides that perfect balance of good weather, fewer crowds, and better prices, allowing you to enjoy the best of the Greek islands without the intense summer crush. If your focus is more on exploring ancient sites and enjoying city breaks like Athens or Thessaloniki, spring or autumn are ideal to avoid the intense summer heat and crowds. This allows for a more comfortable and truly immersive historical and cultural exploration. It's really about aligning your priorities with the seasonal realities of Greece.
Greece is clearly more than just stunning scenery and ancient ruins. It's about the people, the deep-rooted culture, and how they live. What's it like to truly connect with the heart of Greece, beyond the tourist facade?
This is truly fundamental to the Greek experience, and it's where the country's unique character really shines. As we touched on earlier, Greeks are renowned for their philoxenia.
Philoxenia, right.
Yeah, it's a profound, almost sacred hospitality to strangers. You'll often be met with incredible warmth, genuine generosity, and a kindness that can feel deeply personal, particularly once you venture outside the most heavily touristed areas. Embrace this welcoming spirit. It's key to an authentic connection. You might find yourself being offered a coffee or a small treat from a local shopkeeper simply for stopping to chat, or a stranger going out of their way to help you find your way. Maybe even walking with you a good distance to ensure you don't get lost.
That's lovely.
It really is. Family is absolutely central to Greek life and culture, acting as the bedrock of society. Life often revolves around social gatherings, elaborate shared meals, and strong community bonds that extend far beyond the immediate family. You'll feel this connection palpably in local tavernas and village squares, where conversation and conviviality are paramount, and generations gather together. The pace of life, especially on the islands and in rural areas, moves at a notably more relaxed speed. It's about embracing siga siga.
Slowly, slowly.
Slowly. You're genuinely encouraged to enjoy long, leisurely meals and not rush your experiences or your conversations. This unhurried approach is a core part of the Mediterranean charm, an invitation to slow down and truly savor the moment.
And what about the country's spiritual side? How does that manifest? And what should travelers be mindful of when visiting churches, for instance?
Greece is deeply rooted in Greek Orthodox Christianity, which is a significant part of its cultural identity. You'll see countless beautiful churches and monasteries throughout the country, from tiny village chapels to grand Byzantine structures, often adorned with intricate iconography and exuding a profound sense of peace. It's important to be respectful when visiting these religious sites by dressing modestly, ensuring your shoulders and knees are covered. This is a simple sign of respect for local customs. Finally, Greeks are incredibly proud of their ancient heritage and rich history. Don't be shy to ask locals about their history or the myths associated with the places you visit. They often love to share their rich past and traditional stories.
And language. Is English widely spoken?
While Greek is the official language, English is widely spoken in tourist areas, especially by younger generations. However, learning a few basic Greek phrases like kalamera for good morning or ephoriso for thank you will be greatly appreciated and shows a wonderful sign of respect and willingness to connect. It goes a long way.
Absolutely. Okay, any deep dive into a destination wouldn't be complete without a look at safety. What should our listener know about staying safe and secure while exploring Greece?
Right, safety first. Greece is broadly considered a safe country for tourists, with violent crime being quite low. Our sources note that solo female travelers should generally feel safe, just applying standard precautions you would in any popular destination. However, like any bustling place, it's essential to exercise common sense, especially in crowded areas. Petty crime, particularly pickpocketing, can occur in very crowded spots. Think the Acropolis, busy metro lines, market squares, major tourist hubs in Athens or Mykonos.
The usual hotspots.
Pretty much. The good news, as our sources highlight, is that Greek police have really cracked down on perpetrators in these areas recently. The advice is always the same. Keep your valuables secure, maybe in a money belt or a secure inner pocket, and always be aware of your surroundings, especially in dense crowds. Just be vigilant.
And for those considering driving or getting around cities, what should they keep in mind regarding traffic and road safety? You mentioned aggressive drivers earlier.
Yes, traffic and driving can indeed be quite chaotic. I mean, cities like Athens and Greek drivers, it must be said, tend to be on the more aggressive side. As a pedestrian, you should be extremely cautious when crossing streets or navigating busy intersections. Look both ways, maybe 3 times.
Good advice anywhere, but especially there, maybe.
Maybe. If you decide to rent a car, exercise care, especially on islands with those narrow winding roads that can be challenging. And if you opt for scooters or ATVs on the islands, ensure you have the proper licenses and again, exercise extreme caution. The combination of unfamiliar roads and local driving styles requires full attention. Beyond traffic, the Mediterranean sun, it can be incredibly intense, especially in summer. Always wear broad-spectrum sunscreen, a wide-brimmed hat, sunglasses, and drink plenty of water to stay hydrated throughout the day. Seek shade during the hottest parts of the day, usually between noon and 3 p.m.
And water. Is tap water okay?
Regarding water quality, tap water is generally safe to drink in most cities and larger islands. But some people prefer bottled water due to its specific mineral taste or just personal preference. On some smaller islands, however, bottled water is essential due to limited local freshwater resources. So maybe ask locally is unsure. It's always wise to familiarize yourself with the European emergency number, which is 112. That's a universal number for police, ambulance, or fire services across Europe.
Got it.
In terms of personal preparedness, always trust your gut instinct. If a situation feels off, remove yourself from it. Make copies of your personal documents, passport, ID, keep them separate from the originals. Standard travel smarts. Finally, and this is perhaps the most important piece of advice from our sources, always purchase good travel insurance before your trip.
Absolutely crucial.
It really is. It provides comprehensive protection in case anything goes wrong, safeguarding you against unexpected illness, injury, theft, or cancellations. It's a crucial safety net for any international adventure. Don't skip it. Hashtag tag outro.
So there you have it. Greece. A country that just beautifully blends ancient grandeur with a truly vibrant, welcoming island life, offering a profound sense of history, breathtaking natural beauty at, well, pretty much every turn, and a truly delicious culinary journey that will tantalize your taste buds. What's truly fascinating here, as we've explored, is how accessible this rich, multi-layered experience can be, especially when you understand the ins and outs of its unique culture, its transportation systems, and all those strategic cost-saving opportunities we've shared. While Greece is often a busy destination, particularly during peak times, with smart planning and hopefully our in-depth analysis from these comprehensive sources helps with that you can absolutely conquer Greece. You can discover why its unique blend of myths, its ingrained hospitality, and that undeniable Mediterranean magic makes it an utterly captivating destination. It's truly a journey into the soul of Europe waiting for you.
It really is. And this deep dive into Greece reveals a country that is constantly beautifully balancing its ancient legacy with a vibrant, welcoming present. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it raises, I think, an important question for all of us as global citizens and travelers. In a world of increasing global connectivity and burgeoning tourism, how do modern nations, particularly those with such profound historical roots like Greece, effectively preserve their unique cultural identity and deeply ingrained traditions like philoxenia, while simultaneously adapting to and embracing the influx of international influence and visitors?
That's a deep one.
It is. And how does that dynamic truly shape the authentic philoxenia you experience as a traveler? It's something to ponder, perhaps, as you plan your next adventure, considering how your presence contributes, in its own small way, to this delicate, ongoing balance.